Hey everyone, welcome to this video. This is actually the round 13, actually the last round of World Rapid Chess Championship 2024. In this round, we are just going to see Wei and Jacobson. If you haven't watched the previous videos on this round and the previous rounds, please go to the channel and view my channel, and please make sure that you have right and give the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That would just give me a lot of energy. So let's begin, and here we are going to see a super win by Wei, except where he made one blunder in this game. So be sure to watch, and this is going to be an interesting game. So let's begin, why not? Here Wei is playing with white pieces and Jacobson Brandon is playing with the black pieces. Here we see, so let me just flip the board. Knight f3, knight f6, and here c4, so the English opening. We see g6, b6, b3, and here after bishop to e7, bishop b2, so both are just controlling the diagonal here. After castle, we have g3, d6, bishop d4, and after e5 we see takes on d8, takes on rook takes on d8, and knight takes on e5. So you may ask, why just black gave up this pawn so early in the opening? Because he has the very nice compensations in this famous opening after knight to a6, which is actually opening, right? Knight to d3, coming back, we see bishop to f5, so black's idea is now rook to e8 and take. We see knight c3, and now bishop takes on e3. E takes on d3, and here we have knight to g4, so the threat is also knight to b4 attacking this, so white actually should be very careful in this position. h3, and here we see rook to e8, and here after bishop, so you don't move your knight, you don't move your king because you are just hanging the pawn on f2. So that's why bishop to e2 blocking the check. We see knight to b4, and here is where the story begins. We see rook to d1, another nice move was just rook king to f1, but rook to d1 is also nice. We see knight to e5, and here black is just threatening knight e takes on d3, so this is going to be a very critical problem for white. That's why we have castle from Wei, and here Brandon plays the knight e to c6, and here we see rook d2. So as you're just noticing, here black is up a pawn, but his pieces are kind of cramped, and black has this idea of going to actually here take and have very, for example, if you play something like this, it is completely surrounded by rook takes on e3, rook takes on e2, and if knight takes on e2, we have this check and we just take. If you go this way, then I'll just take after you take, I just grab your bishop on b2. So that's why white still doesn't have an advantage and should actually play very carefully in this game. Knight to d4, and here we see bishop to d1, and actually bishop to h6, attacking the roots, so f4 is played to block this diagonal here, but we see bishop to g7 another time. Instead of bishop to g7, rook e3 was the best move here for actually black. So going for to take this pawn and this pawn. So it's attaching two pawns on g3, and d3, and it was kind of very easy move to find, but I don't know why Brandon didn't go and play rook to e3. Instead, as I just told you earlier, bishop to g7 was played, and now here we see a3 kicking this knight out. After knight to a6, now we see b4 because now knight to c5 was threatened, so we played b4 to prevent any knight to c5 move. After rook a to d8, we see knight to b5. So if you exchange this knight, this would be bad because after c takes on b5, if you play knight to b8, bishop takes on b4, and it's after, for example, this or this. And after c6, I just take. After knight c6, I just take, and this position is slightly better for white now. But actually, let's go to the main line where we were here. Knight to f5 was played. Actually, as I just said, knight takes on b5 is not very good option. Instead, knight f5 is nice. Bishop takes on g7, king takes on g7, and here we see the move g4, and after knight to e3, rook to e1, we see c6 kicking this knight. After knight to c3, we see rook to d4 attacking the pawn on d4, and no, we are not threatened to take because our rook is just hanging, but his rook is. But this is kind of complicated game. Knight to e2, and here we just actually missed this actually where you just missed this that knight takes on c4 actually really, yeah. But the best move here was actually bishop to b3. Okay, if you now take on here, then we have rook d to e2, believe it or not. After take states, if you just take here, I just take, if you take, I take this and this position, sorry, and just maybe I was wrong. Oh, knight takes on e2, knight takes on e2, yeah, knight takes on e2, in fact, I'm just completely wrong about this. But bishop to b3, as I just told you earlier, was not played. Instead, knight e2 was played. Knight takes, which could actually be led to the tactic of knight takes on c4. And here, after knight takes on e4, we see rook takes on e1, and check after king to f2, we see this knight takes on d2, king takes on e1, knight to b1, and here we see the move b5, knight to c5, b takes on c6, b takes on c6, and bishop to e2 to just defend this knight, defend this pawn on d3, so we are just not threatening to take on c6, knight e6, knight takes on e6, f takes on e6, and bishop to f3 attacking the pawn on c6. We see knight takes on a3, bishop takes on c6, and after knight to c2, king to d2, knight to d4, bishop to a4, king to f6 was a blunder because of this, and believe it or not, this is completely lost for black because this knight is just completely trapped. If you play the move e5, which actually happened in the game, we just play king to e4. And now we are just simply threatening to take and just grab the knight. If knight to e6, which happened in the game, we see f takes on e5, king to e7. So actually in this position, king to f6, instead of king to f6, the best move here was knight to f3, and if king to e3, then we go knight to h4. But let's go to main line. After this happened in the game, be seeking to e3 from Wei, and this is a very easy endgame for Wei to just win. And at this moment, his opponent Brandon decides to resign because this is completely lost after, for example, if you play something like king to d8 or e6, and I'm just threatening to go here, the move that you might play is this, but then you are just in source money, and this will be just, you will be out of moves soon. For example, after this h5 just takes, if you play this, just here, I just go here, and then here, then you queen, then I mate. Something like this, the game could be just be ended. So at this moment, just Brandon decided to resign, and that was it. Hope you enjoyed this game. Please don't forget actually to give the thumbs up, like this video, and please also make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. And this would just give me a lot of energy. So see you next time. Bye for now.